Okay, I need to know. First thing, hello. Can you all hear me? There's so many of you. This is amazing. My goodness. Hello, 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 hello. Hi. You can hear me, right? Uh, maybe? Yes, we can. Awesome. Okay. I'm using like a lapel mic, so I have no idea what it's going to sound like. But this is amazing. If you're all wondering why I'm kind of looking to the right, it's because I have the chat open so I can kind of see. Also, caveat, hello from Michigan. Uh, my allergies today are next level, so I do sound a little bit nasal. Uh, but yeah, love your flannel. Thank you. It's like super, super oversized right now, and it's actually fairly warm here. But it's like super cozy, and I figured it was about time because we're just hanging out, and I got my it's coffee. I know I'm pens and tea. You guys, you guys always like comment on that, being like, "You don't talk about tea anymore. It's just coffee." I know it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon my time. It's time for pick me up. The flannel is quite warm. It is quite warm. 32-inch TV screen. Oh my goodness. You can probably see the pimple I got on my on my lip. Coffee o'clock for sure. Uh, Sometimes, depending on the day, I'll make this one decaf. Um, but Ira, is that 9 o'clock a.m. or p.m.? Hi, Belgium. I've been to Belgium. Um, but today has got caffeine in it. I only slept for like 4 hours last night. Uh, Candid camera. Well, I mean, hey, I only got like 4 hours last night because I went out to celebrate a coworker's last day at work. So got home I guess, well, I was gonna say real late, but I guess super early because it was the morning time. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Hello, been there too. Gotta go see Walter White's house. So, um, so yeah, it's there's no immediate plans. I was gonna say no, I can see the spinach in your teeth. I mean, it wouldn't. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna actually check now. I should have done it already. Nope, we're good. It wouldn't surprise me if I did though have something in my teeth because guys like I don't know what it is about my teeth, but like seeds, lettuce, whatever will just stay. And like, we wore masks for so long that I stopped worrying about it. And now like I'm having to relearn how to make sure I don't have like something in my teeth or like a booger or something. Hello, hello, hello. Hello from hell. Oh my goodness. How hot is it there? Oklahoma, yeah, been there. Northern New York, been to New York many times, all over. Uh, April Fool's Day, okay. How on earth? Well, okay, a booger's not in the mouth, it's like in the nose, but the mask like, covers like this part, so I'm in BC. Oh my goodness. I've only done a little bit of BC. I haven't done enough, but I definitely want. For those who don't know, BC is British Columbia, Canada. It's on the west coast, so it's very similar to like Seattle if you're American. Very close. Um, I very much want to go back. Uh, there's just too much rain for me to live there permanently. Trinidad, that is definitely somewhere I've never been. Germany, hello, been there. Wales, hello, been there. California, Disneyland. Well, I haven't been to Disneyland, but I've been to California a couple times. Wisconsin, yep, been there. What's up, Wisconsin? That 70s show. Anyone? Guatemala. No, I have not been to Guatemala. That's on the list though. Pretty much everywhere is on the list that I haven't been to. Economically, it's hell right now. I'm actually in the UK. I mean, to be fair, like it's rough everywhere right now. I think except for the States, that seems to just your dollar has been doing really, really well. Canada is not, so we're headed into a recession for sure. Saskatchewan, the Go to BC. Yeah. Yeah. Montreal, what's up, Canada? You actually do have a television host smile, warm and smiling. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do say it is a little strange, because I can see myself. So it's sort of like where, like I'm filming a video, but it's odd because like I'm actually talking to people versus like when I'm filming a video, like I realize I'm talking to people, but there's that like delay. So it's interesting. I've done one live event before, but I think it was like 4 years ago, something like that. So uh, it was it was time. It was time to do another one. So in the UK, we had a prime minister, Liz Truss, who lasted 44 days and made the pound drop to pretty much every other currency. Yeah, Canada, we've definitely been following your news for sure. Our shortest prime minister was 69 days. So good old Liz beat that for us. Instant reply. Yeah, exactly. Windsor, Ontario. What's up? BC is unaffordable for right now. Yeah, well, I mean, BC was always expensive, let alone now. Turin, Italy. I loved Italy. I haven't been to Turin, but I have been many places in Italy. 69 days, nice. I know, right? That's the only reason why I remember it. Uh, it's pretty sad. Watched your previous live event. Great to see another. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this one, like I said, I have zero in mind in store other than to talk about the giveaway, which will happen like more towards the end. I just figured this one we'd sit down, we'd have a chat, like if you guys got questions, whatever, like I'll just try and answer. I did drop a thing on my Patreon account, so I'm just gonna check to see if anyone had questions there. They don't. Cool. Um, so yeah, so like this is there's no expectations for this really. It's just to sort of see what happens. And to be fair, to see if I could, um, just to like see if I could even handle it. I don't know. It's been so long. Maybe in the future we'll have like more not programmed, but like topic themes in mind. Curious, how do you plan to host this giveaway? So at the end of the chat, basically, I'm going to grab a list of all the participants, and then I'm going to throw it into a random generator on probably my phone, and whatever that picks, it picks. And then I will message Emmy from Penn Venture, and he's actually going to be the one sending it away to you guys. I do still have his demo unit here, so he gets any like prototypes and uh, things like that sent to him. So he will have like a couple different ones messaged. This is a steel nib. It just looks super cool. He'll have a couple ones sent to him while they're like designing the pen and before they come up with like the final production model. So I still have this, but I will be forwarding all of your guys' information over. And then whoever it is, like that ends up winning essentially. If you can email me, and I'll put it in the chat again towards the end so that it doesn't get buried. I'll figure out a way to pin it because we're figuring this out together. But it's just pensandtea2016 at gmail.com. And I'll get you in contact with Emmy. Hashtag I'm not winning. I mean, Wayne, you never know. You absolutely never know. So yeah, so that's basically how I'm going to do the giveaway. The reason why I've chosen to do it this way is just because usually it's again a little more. This one's a little more personal, I guess. So wow, you guys are firing the chat up. I love it. I did see a question about smashing pens. Oh yeah, you have to smash all your pens but one. Which one are you keeping? I mean, that's hard. That is a very hard question. My instinct is to say the Pilot Custom 823, which I have to my right. My instinct is to say the Pilot Custom 823. And I think that's because it's got like a really big body where you can put a lot of stuff in. Um, writes beautifully, obviously, but I don't know, but there's something holding me back is the A23 and fine. This one happens to be a medium nib, but I do have a smoke version that's in a fine nib. Uh, I guess pimping out myself, I have done a comparison of the two nibs uh, on my YouTube channel. But I think ultimately, sorry, my cat is now spazzing around. So I think ultimately I would probably pick the Pilot Custom 912 with the Falcon nib and ebonite feet. And the only reason why I would pick that over the custom A23 is just because like this writes like a ridiculous fire hose. Like it's next level. So no matter what ink you put in there, it's gonna wet. It's gonna wet. It's gonna write like a wet writer. And that's just my preference for sure. Power went out. Oh boy. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. I hate when I lose power. Recently got my A23 in broad, so happy with it. That's awesome. Broad is not my bag, but I will definitely be picking up a broad in the future. If you could pick up an 823 in any color, why would it be that limited edition blue one? I mean, there is a limited edition blue one, but I think it's a, um, oh my gosh, Bung Box or Bung, I think it's Bung Box. You can put the Falcon nib in an 823. You can if you get the bigger one, but this one, I don't think the 912 would fit in the 823. Um, choose the Pelican. Yeah, the Pelican's solid though. I received my first gold nib fountain pen today. Pilot Custom Heritage 91. Awesome. Bung Box, yeah. Does the generator pick the comments in the chat coming in at the moment it's choosing? Is it going to pick from all the comments posted? No, it's just going to be a list of the total participants. So you don't have to put anything in the chat if you don't want to. So right now I have a running list of all the participants that are in the room that I can pull the entire list from. And I will just input all of those names towards the end of the stream. Is the 912 the best pilot to go for a Falcon nib with? I prefer it over the Pilot Falcon or I think it's Pilot Elabo is what is called outside of North America. The 912 is a number 10. The 823 is a 15. Definitely wouldn't fit. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I prefer this one over the Pilot Falcon, like leaps and bounds. But I've never tried yet Falcon nib, which is as where is the comment here? Wayne said is this is number 10 size and the custom 823 is number 15 size. So I will eventually. I will eventually. So fast. I think I have to leave the stream for a bit because I need to run a quick errand. No worries. I mean, like I said, there's no expectations for this. And I believe at the end of the stream, it will save the whole thing and upload it to YouTube as well. So you can watch after the event is over. People say the 823 Falcon is better, but I like the 912. Yeah, I mean, everyone has their own preference, right? Like I know some people would prefer like the metal Falcon over the resin Falcon for weight. Like I said, I've never tried the 823 Falcon yet, but I believe I might have the opportunity to do that soon. So you never know. Be sure to give a thumbs up to the stream. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Is a vac pen more difficult than a piston? It depends. So let me actually grab. So I got a Montblanc 146. It's a piston. The Pilot Custom 823 is a vacuum filler. The piston on the Montblanc 146, far more difficult to clean than the vacuum. because I can disassemble the nib and feed are just friction fit. I can take that out. You can screw the back end out if you want. Um, Gonna put some shelves up. Awesome. Good for you, Marie. So, whereas like the Mont Blanc 149, you have to basically just like do the old like unscrew it, screw it back in, unscrew it, screw it back in. So to clean out this one is a pain in the tuchus, which is why I'm on the fence about selling that. And then the A23 that is a vacuum fill, so easy to clean. But if you compare that with, where do I have it? Where did I put it? Oh, it's over here. If you compare like the vacuum fill to like from the Pilot from like a TWSBI piston, you can completely take this one apart, whereas you can't disassemble this one as far as you can this. So it sort of depends pen to pen about what you can and cannot do with it. But in general, I don't really find vacuum fill pens too much of a pain to clean. Really grown to like cartridge converter pens, not just a fan of Pilot converters. I mean, yeah, a cartridge converter, to be fair, is significantly easier to clean in general than any other pen. Coffee's done. I watch people use fountain pens when journaling, but there's a whole bunch of names being used here, so I'm lost. Yeah, it's journaling. I can't do two things. I'm either journaling or I'm doing something else. I can't do it at the same time. Pilot makes some whack converters. Yeah, I don't think they've found their right converter yet. Like I know a lot of people hate the actually it's in the 912, the custom 912. I know a lot of people hate the Con 70. I don't mind it. I don't find it that difficult to clean. To be fair though, I use a syringe like that kind of like shoots water up into the converter itself, so I don't have to like press the button a million times. But I know the Con 40, the Con 50 with like the little agitators in there. Sometimes ink gets stuck in there and you can't fit much in it. So it's not the greatest. I can deal with the Con 70, but the Con 40 boils my blood. Yeah, basically. Basically. Um, Curious question. As you're streaming, do you feel like you're alone or actually talking to people? Like you feel you're in a people-filled environment. I feel like I'm alone in the sense that obviously I'm the only sound that I can hear. But I do feel like the presence of you guys much more than even when I make the videos. So it's sort of like a hybrid between them. I think once I start to do like live events more often, then I will definitely get used to this feeling a little bit. Right now, it's like it's interesting trying to struggle, like not struggle, but juggle, sort of like being entertaining, but like reading all of your questions and actually trying to keep up with it. Uh, I've seen a couple live streams where these people have like hundreds and hundreds, thousands and thousands of people coming in, and the comments are just like flooding in. And I'm like, I don't understand how you can keep up with that. I really don't. Like, there's 69 of them now, so, and even then, the comments are going by pretty quickly. You need to teach your cat to read so they can filter comments. Yeah, no kidding. She just like hauled out of here so fast. Briolette. Yeah, I haven't used the Briolette from Benu yet. It looks like an odd shape. But if I've learned anything with Benu, don't judge a book by its cover. But I would like to, I think, try that one in a store before I actually would purchase that. So, how cold is winter in your corner of the People's Republic of Kanakistan? It gets cold. It gets cold. It's pretty warm today. So it's 15 degrees Celsius. What is, come on. What is 15 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? So it's 59 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty warm today. But it gets cold. It gets really cold. With the wind chill, it can get down to like 35, minus 35. What is minus 35 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? That's minus 31 Fahrenheit for the Americans. So it gets pretty darn chilly, and lots of snow. Lots of snow. The most Canadian Google voice search of all time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or 288.15 in Kelvin. Okay. It's 59 in my corner of the US. Yeah, it's a nice day. Uh, I mean, we say nice now because we've had colder already, but when the summer ends and then like we transition into this, we're like, "Oh my God, it's so cold." But but we've been much colder already, so now it feels warm. Plus the sun's out today and the sun makes a huge difference because when it's like gross and cold and wet and gray, it's like, ugh, no, thank you. That's just like a day where you want to stay inside and read. Which, by the way, I finished the Jade Legacy saga, the 3 books there. So now I'm moving on to The Shadow Rising by Robert Jordan. Uh, I'm almost kind of ish halfway. This is the 4th book in the Wheel of Time series. No spoilers because I haven't read past the 4th book yet. But this one's really good. It's better than the 3rd so far. Gotta love the bypass emergency routes on Canadian highways because there's so much snow. Yeah, yeah. It's how you know you're in Canada, not the US. Yeah, 100%. 49 in Augusta, Maine. That's pretty close. Pretty close. This is my first time on a Pen Channel Live. Well, welcome. Welcome. I don't host them very often. Like I said earlier in the stream, this is only my 2nd time, so we'll see how it goes. I have 6 Banus and they're all great. Yeah, my Banu collection, guys, is getting out of control. Like, it is getting absolutely out of control. So, not inked up right now, I have 3, and then inked up, I have 2, because I bought most recently the Benu Euphoria Pomegranate and the new Talisman Venus Hair. So, yeah, I definitely have a Benu problem all of a sudden. And I do want to purchase the Benu Euphoria from Goulet Pens, the milk and cookies one. I don't remember. I think it's called like cookies and cream, I think is what it's called, but something like that. And that one just looks dynamite. How many pens do you keep inked up at a time? How do you keep track of the ink in each pen? So much like Drew Brown of Goulet Pens, which, fun fact, is actually where this is from. I tried to keep it limited to 3. So currently I have 4. So I have with only 3 or 4 pens, I just remember how much, like what's in it. So the cookies and cream looks amazing, right? I know your videos want me to purchase a Benu. Recommend, definitely. In the Venus Talisman, I have Diamond Pumpkin. In the Benu Euphoria Pomegranate, I have Troublemaker Basilica Red. But I am going to have to clean this one out soon because the nib crustaceans are just getting wild. So I'm not going to be buying that ink. I have the Pilot Falcon inked up, or the Pilot Custom 912 Falcon nib inked up with Diamond Writer's Blood. And I have a Kaweco Sport Coconut with Diamine Polar Glow. So those are the only 4 that I have inked up currently. All my other pens are clean. I really try to keep it minimum because once I get beyond like 5 pens, then I just don't want to clean them. But sometimes if I get sent a whole bunch of pens all in one go, I'll ink them all up. And then as I review them, I'll try and clean them up. What pen and inks are on your wish list for Christmas? So the Benu Euphoria Milk and Cookies, or Cookies and Cream, whatever it's called, for sure that will be on my list. I don't get any pen-related stuff from any family members or friends for the holidays because I'm the only one in my person that uses them. They barely even know what a fountain pen is. I have tried. I've gifted, I've lent, I've introduced. It's only me. It's only me. Um, I have not seen you review Indian pens, Rango, Lotus, Magna Carta, unless I've missed them. I have not reviewed those for a couple of reasons. In the sense of A, nobody's reached out to me to see if they want to, and B, it's just not readily available in my area. And I typically try and stick with more popular ones that people will watch. Have you ever tried a Monte Grappa? Many, many. The Elmo is probably my favorite that I've tried. They don't know what to get you. Exactly. There's just nothing. I've tried to enable my friends and family, and nope. Exactly. Uh, There's so many. If you could put different parts of different pens together, create your awesome pen of all time, albeit a bit of a Franken-monster sort of pen, what would you choose? I've actually done a video where I talked about, like, if I could make my own pen, what would I want? Um, and there's just so many choices. So many choices. It would definitely be a warm toned color pen, probably of like a fancier resin. Um, I flip back and forth between the filling systems, but probably cartridge converter for ease of clean. Um, but I would definitely want to have an ebonite feed for sure. What's your favorite ink color? I mean, guys, you can chime in here. I mean, what's my favorite ink color? Mont Blanc James Pretty and Sons single malt is my favorite ink. But really anything that's like a warm brown, warm red, kind of earthy tones is where my soul lies. Oh, Snez, no, unfortunately I won't. Will you be attending the Scriptus Pen Show in Toronto tomorrow? Unfortunately, no. I'm pretty bummed about it because I've been to the last several before COVID, obviously. But unfortunately, I did not know whether or not this year it was going to come back. And I didn't hear about it coming back until it was too late and I have to work. And Diatramensis Cola is up there, isn't it? It is. It is very much. Diatramensis Cola is pretty much the only ink that I put in the Platinum Century 3776. For whatever reason, it just seems to be that. I mean, it's so much so that, I mean, what are we doing, guys? You're watching me sniff a pen. It's so much so that the feed still smells like it. I just love it. So, but yeah, no, I'm absolutely gutted that I can't go to Scriptus tomorrow. I usually will get um, uh, a table there to sell a bunch of pens, but I can't unfortunately go. I do have a bunch of pens that I am going to be listing towards the end of the year. So I guess spoiler, these are some of them. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but stay tuned. Like I said, it'll be coming towards the end of the year. I've got a few pens that I'm sort of on the fence about selling. One of them is the Mont Blanc 146 Aviator. One of them is actually a Leonardo pen. It's the primary manipulation. It's absolutely stunning, and I love it quite a bit. I just don't use it as much as I would like to. And same with, to be fair, the special edition Lamies 2000s that I have. So I don't know if you can really tell in this live stream, but this is the brown and this is the blue. I'm getting out of hand. I'm getting out of hand with my pens. So I've got to unload a little bit. So Banu is taking over your love, or taking your love away from the Quebeco. I mean, it's not taking it away. It's just now there's two loves. It's like when you have multiple children, you love them all. They just got different personalities. I mean, I still have a Quebeco up and running. We're all out of hand. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Maria, I'd love to buy Leonardo from you. Well, stay tuned. Like I said, it's going to be coming. It's going to be coming shortly, probably towards the end of November, early December. Do you use fountain pens at work? I do not. I don't even use a pen, to be fair, at work, really. And if I do, it's just like a basic Bic pen for like a word. I probably write the equivalent of like 3 sentences in a month. You love them all, but as a parent, you still have a favorite. Exactly, exactly. I mean, you got a favorite, but you can't admit it, right? Like you can't. Can I buy a pen with Timmy's gift cards? So here's the thing, okay? I don't like Tim Hortons. I know, sacrilege as a Canadian. Their coffee is just absolute garbage. It is just absolute garbage. And I don't really like any of the food that they have. I mean, donuts are cool, don't get me wrong, but that's okay. I don't like them either. Fair. I mean, yeah, I've gotten spoiled, so spoiled. Was that a Pilot Custom SE in the sale case? No. Uh, I don't have a custom SE. Uh, and you sell the ones you don't like as much. Well, I mean, you can't sell your kid. Well, I guess you can sell your kids. That got dark. But yeah, Timbits are good stuff. Yes, they are. I don't eat Timmies too much because like Timbits because I can easily put like 10 to 15 of those away. And I think like two or three Timbits is the equivalent of a single donut. So I can't do it. I worked at Timmy's back in the day. Yeah. Are you a Starbucks fan instead? So I never worked at Timmy's, but I did work at Country Style. It was terrible. Starbucks, to be fair, I don't really like their coffee either. I do like their Americanos, but their regular like dark roast, pike roast, whatever is not good in my opinion. I also drink my coffee black. I know I didn't have it in this one. I actually had some pumpkin spice in there, and I find all their lattes too sweet now. But I used to go nuts over all of their lattes. What happened to the tea part of Pence and Tea? Okay, so here's the thing. So I used to start every video with a section about the current tea that I was drinking, and then I would get into the pen. And about 3-ish minutes would be how long I would spend roughly on the tea. But a couple things happened. One, I ran out of tea that I've tried. And two, most people, like 98% of the people that watch my content would skip past it and or complain about it. And so I just sort of started like separating them. I would make like a video about tea and then I'd make a video about pen and nobody ever watched the tea content. So I just kind of stopped making tea. I still drink it daily. About 8 p.m. my time is my tea time that I have pretty much every day. Sometimes I have one earlier in the day, but it just seems to be like what I drink, a couple hours before I go to bed. So that's kind of why I've gotten away from talking about tea, um, just because for the most part, the vast majority of the people that watch my stuff don't like it. I really liked their Italian roast from Starbucks. I don't recall what their Italian is exactly. Um, when you love pens so much, instead of sniffing the tea, you sniff your Platinum 3776 Century. Yeah, exactly. Oh my goodness. Great coffee roaster in Farmers Market, London, Ontario. Yeah, I've been definitely finding that like small, like more indie roasters significantly better. There's a place in the GTA called My Indie Coffee that I really, really like. They're pretty much my favorite. I really like oh shoot, what's it called? I think it's called just Detour Dark from a roaster in Toronto. That's called Detour Roasters. Uh, theirs I really like. I'm originally from Seattle. I do not like Starbucks. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Do you have a favorite tea, way to drink tea? So I used to be super bougie about it, would only buy loose leaf, have the temperature at the exact right, temperature for the leaves and do like the open steeping method and brew it out that way. I still do from time to time, but for the most part, to be fair, I just do it Tetley now. I know it's sacrilege just kind of like the random stuff you find in the grocery store. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But I would say one I'm addicted to right now is actually from President's Choice. It's spiced apple, and if I want a loose leaf, it's like a ginger lemon chamomile from what company is it? I picked it up from Detour Coffee Roasters, but it's not from them. I just can't remember the company right now. A few pen-related YouTubers have disappeared. I think I may know why. In one case, is there anything that would make you stop making video content, and what would the reason be? Um, oof, Marilyn, that's a good question. I mean, it takes way more time than you would think that it does. Like even my videos, which I on purpose keep very simple, um, I try and do as little editing as possible, because that's really what takes the longest time. And it takes a long, long time. So the people like, Matt Armstrong, has been very open about why he's leaving or he left several years ago. These guys were putting like the production quality of their videos were insane, and I started to head down that road, and I started to not like it. So I kind of went back to my original style, which is sort of a little bit more run and gun like this. Um, but I think if it ever got in the way of life, like my day to day life, I might stop. And maybe if like I started getting like really, really like negative comments, like, constantly. Like, I get some Sketchville things sent my way, don't get me wrong. But I think if it got really toxic, I would stop as well. Uh, or if I ever got, like, a stalker or something, I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get to that point. Out of hand would be a reason why I would step away. But I've gotten pretty good at, not listening to the haters, but some of them do tend to creep in from time to time. Do you like yerba mate or yerba mate? I don't know how to pronounce that tea, but yes, I've had it before. Tastes okay. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Uh, I know tea's not supposed to give you the jitters with the extra caffeine, but it seems to do that to me. But yet coffee doesn't. So riddle me that one, Batman. Have you ever used a 149? A long time ago. A long time ago. It's a very long. I've done a review on it, but it's like a really old one. But I don't own one. I found Matt's videos and watched so many, but then saw he would quit 2 years. Yeah. Yeah. Like it's just so much work, essentially. And if you lose the love for it, if it starts to become a burden, then yeah, you're going to get burnt out. There's no point to keeping it going. So, um, but I mean, I still watch his old videos from time to time if there's a pen that I'm interested in. Do you have any tea inks? Sailor's Christmas tea, Dominant Industry, Earl Grey. I do have one. Let me see here. Yeah, so I have the Sailor's Tea Time. It's like a super, super dark, dark, dark brown. What is your juicy writing pen? Pilot Custom 823. No, Pilot Custom 912. Falcon Nib, Ebonite feed. I don't use this one too often because it is super, super dark. But this is the only one that's like officially labeled tea. I did have Diamine Earl Grey, but I have since misplaced it. I think I lost it when I was packing up stuff for my condo, and then the condo had a delay. So some things are in boxes, but I'll find it eventually. I don't like drinking tea or coffee, so I was always here for the pens. Yeah, Karen, to be fair, like I said, 98% of the people who watch my stuff are here for pens. So that's totally fine. Which is why I don't really do that much content anymore. And of course, the original idea for when pens and tea was birthed was that when I would sit down to journal, of course, I would have a pen of choice, and then I would usually have a cup of tea, and I'd sit down for anywhere between 20 to 40 minutes, sometimes more, sometimes less. basically until the tea was gone and just journal out whatever I was thinking about that time. And I really liked the combination of those two things. So that is basically how this channel came about, and the name specifically came about. Opinions on long Furbies. What's a long Furby? I don't know what that is. Sorry. Daisy, hi, woke up late. No worries, no worries. Show. What happened with you and the Pilot E95? Another almost got. So you mean this one? So I bought a Pilot E95S many, many, many years ago, sold it and then missed it. And again, Drew Brown from Goulet Pens kept talking about it on their Pencast, and it was stuck in my head and I couldn't stop thinking about it. And so I rebought it and I absolutely adore it. And I have zero plans on letting this go now. Um, what's the name of the French tea that's super popular in Japan? I have absolutely no idea. If I had a pen channel, I'd call it Pens and Wine. Fair. That is fair. I don't drink myself, but I was never a fan of wine, even when I did drink. But I understand that there's like a lot of people, just like with coffee and tea, there's a lot of people into it for sure. Uh, Thank you for making fountain pen videos. They're very helpful. Well, thank you for watching them. I mean, that was the initial reason behind getting behind, doing videos, because at the time there wasn't a whole lot of people. I mean, there's certainly the big names, definitely, but there really wasn't any females other than Gourmet Pens. So now there's loads though, which is amazing. How long do you plan on streaming? I have an appointment soon, but I really want to stick around, so I want to figure out what time I can return home. Um, Time is flying by, guys. Time is absolutely flying by. I was only going to do an hour, so I'm going to stick pretty close to that. I think at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so about just over 15 minutes. That's 18 minutes from now. I'm gonna pull the participant list and start the giveaway. And we're definitely going to have to do this again, you guys. We're absolutely going to have to do this again because this has been great. And time is flying by. But unfortunately, I can't stay too much past that because supper is on me tonight. So I'll be doing that. So how has it been 40 minutes? I know. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was a little nervous for this. The biggest fear I had was that nobody would show up. And I mean, obviously you guys have, so thank you. And I will definitely be doing it more and more. I'm really happy with the comments. It's kept things like flying. And then I was really nervous that if people did show up, I wouldn't have anything to talk about, which I mean, I really shouldn't be worried about because like I can ramble like the best of them. I mean, you guys have watched my videos. You know how much I can ramble. It's crazy. So I shouldn't have been worried. But yeah, I was a little bit nervous. Like I said, it's been 4 years, first and only other one that I've done. So I was quite nervous about it. Have you seen the new Sailor Pro Gear Time fountain pen? Yes. So I have seen it. I like the look of the slim one. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but it was like the one that's like kind of brown. I mean, shocking, brown, I know. But we dig the rambles. Thank you, because I don't think they're going anywhere, Bobby Bailey. So also thank you for being on Patreon. But yeah, like I have seen it, but the Pro Gear Slim is just too small for me, despite the fact that I like these guys. You can't figure it out. You just can't figure it out. Any experience with vintage pens? Absolutely none. No experience with vintage pens. I've purposely been avoiding getting into it because I need another hobby like a hole in the head. If I ever got the chance to try one out, I wouldn't say no, but it's It's not something I want to jump into on my own. Scares me a little bit. So glad to see you live, nerds on the fly, Bill's community. Yeah, well, and that was the point of doing this one too. Was that I wanted to give a pen away to people who actively participate, rather than the people who just watch the one video because it happens to fit some YouTube algorithm, essentially. Do you use any tea scented inks? I have a cola and a tobacco scented ink, but no tea scented inks. Feeling on traveler's notebooks this year. So fun fact, spoiler for the 95 of you that are here. I don't have a specific traveler's notebook, but Endless did send me their Explorer notebook, which, spoiler, review coming soon, is very, very similar to that. So did I miss the giveaway? No, you did not. I'm going to be pulling the list of participants at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll start that process then. Had a Parker for many years. Didn't know I didn't try it. Yeah, it's crazy how you can kind of get down the rabbit hole by accident. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to catch up on some of the comments. Any pen recommendations top of your mind to do a cheapskate student? So first, foremost, probably the cheapest you could find. You could probably find ones that are cheaper, but super cheap that write really well. Either the Platinum Preppy or the Pilot Jinhao Shark pen, which is juvenile but awesome looking. But if you're willing to spend a little bit more for something that would last much longer than these, I would recommend the Pilot Metropolitan. It does cost much more than these guys, but this is like the build quality is much, much better. Whereas these are like super cheap plastic, so they're probably going to break fairly easily, but you can also buy more, buy nib sizes. But that would be my recommendation. Shout out to Emmy. Big shout out. I need to order more stuff from him. Yeah, big shout out because he's the one that's making this possible, to be fair. And he has sent me so many pens now to try out. This would not be possible without him. So 10 out of 10 recommend Emmy from Pen Venture. Go check him out if you haven't already. No longer in love with Aurora pens. Nope, still totally in love. Still have 3. So I still have the original one that I ever bought, and then 2 more. So like a warm brown, because of course, and then one with a stub nib. That's really, really, really dope. My desk, guys, is getting out of hand with the amount of pens I have everywhere. Kind of a weird question, but any tips for selling pens that aren't super popular? I have a couple I've been trying to sell, but there isn't much interest in Reddit fountain pens. I mean, usually to be favorite Quebeco sport color, coconut. Usually when I sell my pens, I do it in person or on Instagram. I've never actually gone on Reddit. I've never been a Reddit user. And usually those 2 methods work pretty well for me. But you can also go on the shoot. Guys, comment in the comments section for them. What is the thing on Instagram that you can list your pens on that like you post it to them and then they put it out? I can't remember what the handle is. Do you have any fellow pen enthusiasts you meet up with? I used to pre-COVID, but I don't really get together on them anymore. Virtual Pen Show. Yeah. There you go. So go on Instagram and go on Virtual Pen Show. Thank you, guys. And they can kind of like get your posting out to potentially more eyeballs than your pen may be able to. Is that Aurora their formal italic nib? I need one of those. So no, it's not their formal italic, but it's like their stub nib essentially. So I mean, you can't really tell, I don't think. But I mean, again, I do have a review of this one on the channel if you want to check. It's definitely much more of a stub. It's not like an italic or anything like that. So I like it. I don't use it too often just because it's super, super broad. But I do like it around this time of year when I start to write Christmas cards. Um, because I like at that point to have like, crazy broad lines so you can fill up a whole card. So, uh, yeah. All right. Sorry, just trying to get a little caught up on everything. Is there a good leather cover for a hardcover A4? A4, I don't know, but I do have a couple leather covers for my A5 size ones. They're from Superior Leather. It's a company based out of Japan, but it's sold everywhere. They're really great. But hardcover, that would be tricky because the whole point of like a cover is that you like fold in the sides of the sleeve into it. So that would be interesting. If anybody knows anything, let us know in the comment section. Newbie question, but what is the difference between steel nib and gold nib, and why are some pens with steel nibs close in price as gold nibs? So I mean, steel nibs are typically more of a stiff writer than a gold nib. But to be fair, you may not even notice right off the bat. Like, something like the Aurora is a gold nib, but it writes super stiff. Whereas, like I don't have anything right offhand. But there's been some steel nibs that I've used that write softer than gold nibs. Why are they more expensive? Well, it could be like something like a Benu, for example, where like the pen material is made out of something that costs a lot more time, a lot more manual labor. The pen body itself could be made up of something that's like much more expensive than the body. So, for example, the body of this Benu is going to be much more expensive than the body of this Pilot Custom 912. Whereas this has a steel nib, this has a gold nib, but it's just kind of depends on that too. I mean, there's a lot of factors. It's really hard to do that real quick run and gun, but just seems to be the way. But most of after watching your review and constantly praising your Pilot Custom 823 bought it, most expensive pen I own. Don't regret it. I'm glad. I will say, guys, that's something that like as a pen reviewer, I've become very aware, especially in the last year or so, that I do actually have influence a little bit. Not like an influencer, but a little bit. Over some of the purchases that you guys make with your money, and it's a little terrifying. A little bit. But I never used to have that, of course, when I first started. I would just give my opinion, and for the most part, like if somebody bought a pen, they bought a pen, cool. But now I think that like I do have a bit more of a following. I'm definitely, I don't think in the upper echelon tier or anything like that, but you guys watch my stuff enough now that I feel like sometimes if I overhype something, then I don't want to like have everybody go out and get it and like somebody not like it, because that can be terrifying. So that's why I try and always say like, oh man, like that's just my opinion. Like it's up to you. Watch other videos, that kind of stuff. So it's a little terrifying when doing a review. Is it cold where you are? It's a warmer day today. It's 59 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius, but I am in the basement and I'm always cold. So wearing a flannel is just common practice for me. Do you have any useful tips for people using an ink fountain pen for the first time? Anything random but useful? Clean it relatively frequent, in the sense of like at least once every other week, or less, I guess, if you're using it constantly, but it can get clogged up, unlike regular ones. I was on the fence about Benu. You pushed me over, no regrets. Yeah, that was absolutely something that I was very aware. Like Benu just snuck up on me, guys, and hit me like a brick. It's just like I wasn't anticipating falling down the Benu rabbit hole as much as I did, and I mean, I will say, like, it it just hit me, and it's not the cheapest pen, but it is one of the best writers I've ever had, so, I'm glad that you're liking it. Oh my god, lots of Bennu, I know. I know. It's getting out of hand for sure, but I absolutely love it. Any pens you initially did not like when you first used them, but grew on you over time? Um, sorry, I'm trying to, like, look at all of my pens. I would say no pen that really comes to mind that I, like, hated, that I like now. Usually, if I try something and I hated it, it's because I hated it. But I will say the very first time I did use actually the, Platinum Century 3076. It wasn't the greatest just because this is a fine nib and it was super fine. And I didn't have the greatest paper in the world, but you didn't like the Quebeco at first. I loved it and then I fell out of love and I kind of hated it and then I fell back into love. But it's not that I fell out of love, I think, with the pen itself. I think I became too bougie for my own taste. Um, I got into that very like, "Ugh, I'm like fancy now with my pens. I only like gold nibs, things that look expensive." And then I realized that I was being a tool and that there's a time and place for every pen. I fell out of love with Lamy Safaris. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Lamy pens, to be fair, other than the 2000. 2000 is dope. Uh, You just got the Goulet Bennu Euphoria and iced caramel latte. Yeah, that one was tempting for sure. Hey, Emmy, Penventure, there you go. We're actually, Emmy, we're about to pull the participant list, and I said that I would reach out to you and find out who won. And I gave you a huge shout out in the beginning of the video or the beginning of the live event, just saying that it's on you, man. You're the reason why we're here. This is it. This is it. Somebody did comment in the comment section just saying, "You're an influence on people for sure. I would expect a new Applebaum video with you in their new series." I just did one actually with Applebaum, but thank you. I appreciate that. Somebody asked in the comment section whether I could put like somehow a thing in like a repost the comment section. I don't think I can, but this video should post as like a regular video on my YouTube channel, so you can go back and rewatch and kind of scrub through if you want. Um, well, Penventure late here, but it's not that late for a pet, right? Well, I mean that's why I tried to choose something in the afternoon so that it wouldn't be too early in the morning for some and too late in the evening for others. It's hard when we're global. It's definitely hard when we're global, but I was hoping that this time frame would work. No tea this time. No, I had coffee. And then I just got water in my little Wonder Woman uh, container here because water is good too, especially when you talk basically for 58 minutes straight. So Wonder Woman flask. Yeah, I have a couple of the blender bottles. They're amazing. So 200 pens. That's a lot. Holy smokes. Anyway, it's gonna be worth it. I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, the other blender bottle I have is just like a plain one. It doesn't have any Wonder Woman on that one. Carrie, how do you feel about Montblanc pens? I like them. They're a little too expensive for me to have. I think the biggest thing that I have with them is that they're just difficult to clean. And I'm finding more and more, or I guess I would say actually the opposite. I'm finding less and less enthusiasm about pens that I can't easily clean because, well, it just becomes a giant pain in the butt. It just becomes a gigantic pain in the tuchus. Did I miss it? I assume you mean the giveaway. No, you did not. I am about to pull the participant list, though. Speaking of, do you have any journal recommendations? Anything with Tomei River. Just straight up, straight up. Oh, Emmy, thank you. When we team up is like magic. It's definitely gone through the roof for sure. Feelings about sonic cleaners? Never used them, to be fair. Never used them. So I don't really have too many opinions. All right. I'm going to pull the participant list. So forgive me if I'm not paying attention for a moment. uh, like I said, this is the first for me, so we're learning together. And I think, let me just open this up here. So, all right. So now we have all the participants. And I think I just came up with a different idea. So this is literally coming up off the top of my head. This is how live events go. Because the whole point of this is I wanted to make it collaborative. Apparently, I can't speak anymore either. Uh, I wanted to be able to engage with you guys, essentially. And so I think I'm going to involve you guys significantly more in the choosing of the winner for the giveaway. So at the time of pulling this list, there's 118 people. So I am going to put up a poll, and I'm going to open that poll I'm going to end the other one. I'm going to open up a poll. I'm going to open it for 60 seconds. And it's going to be numbered 1 through 18. And you guys are going to vote. I don't know if I can. I may have to go back to the other default of the random generator. But I'm going to pick a number. I don't know if I can, but let's find out. If I can quite literally. No, I can only do 4. Ah. Okay, I was gonna literally have you guys pick a number and open it up for 60 seconds, and then have you guys choose who it is. But I can only choose 4 options. I can't open up that many. Darn it! I thought that was gonna be such a good idea. Oh man. Well, that would have Brad, that would have been fun. I know, right? I thought that would be like the coolest thing. Well, if we want, one thing I could do, the poll outsmarted you. I know they probably don't want me to have so many things. Randomly select 4 numbers and poll. So what I could do is actually separate yeah, you know what? Okay, we're gonna. Ooh, what about a trivia question? Oh. That would be cool. Okay. 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 All right. Yep. Trivia question. Let's do it. All right. I'm going to put it in a poll, and I'm going to make it a fairly hard question. I'm going to make it a fairly hard question. I'm going to try and make it a deep dive. So one that's been here a while. We're not all good at trivia. Well, you also have a good guess. Penn Venture, first answer gets it. Yeah. Okay, what's a deep dive? What is a deep dive question? Okay. What year? Okay, what year did I try my very first fountain pen? It was a Pilot Metropolitan, in case you're wondering. First person gets it right. Whoa. All right. Zoe. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know how to pronounce your name. All right. It is 2015. and I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Zoea or something like that is the one that got it. Let me screen grab your name here because it is 2015. 2016, fun fact, was where I started the videos, but 2015 is the one I started. So it is, let me see if I can input. Can I put a photo on here? No, I can't, but I will type it because I don't know how to pronounce that. So apologies. Sorry, I have so many windows open now on my computer. All right. There you go. So I'm going to, so we've got pens and tea 2016 at gmail.com. That is my email. So please, I'm going to pin this message. Please, please, please email me your mailing information. And then between Emmy and myself, we will figure out a way to get it to you. All right. That's awesome. That was so much fun. It was stressful at the end. We all changed our minds. Um, I am absolutely going to do more of these in the future. Some of them may be giveaways again. Some of them might be more structured. Apologies if that got really loud with my mic. Some of them might be a little bit more structured. Like we'll specifically be talking about a pen in, uh, you know, within the thing. It could be a beta banu, it could be a pilot, it could be anything. We can make this anything. So definitely we're going to have to do this again. But I mean, we're definitely gonna have to do this again and probably longer than an hour because this hour went by incredibly fast, incredibly. Yes. So yes, steel nib, any size, any trim color of your choice. Thank you, Emmy, for reminding, bringing it back in case Z wasn't here in the beginning of the stream. uh, Sorry, there's so many things coming through now. My goodness gracious. Yeah, so any steel nib, so any size, any trim color, email me and with your email address as well. And we'll make sure to get it to you guys. Yes, so I'm definitely going to do more streams in the future, potentially longer than an hour, depending on how these things go. Because my goodness, that time flew by. Um, I definitely want to. Holy Russell! Whoa! You want a $1,500 pen? Whew, good for you. Which one was it? We're definitely gonna have to do this again for sure. Basically, as long as you guys keep coming in, we're gonna keep doing it. Imagine a live shared in between us. Okay, we need to do it. 100% we do. 100%. This I have to say, like Emmy, I mentioned to the crew here earlier I was a little bit nervous that no one would show up to the event, and then those that did wouldn't participate. But this has blown all of my expectations out of the water, so I appreciate it. Would be nice to see another live event from you. Yes, it will be coming for sure. So stay tuned to my YouTube channel. Stay tuned to my Instagram. Um, Going to Scriptus. Unfortunately, Glenn, no, I can't. I have to work this year, and I'm absolutely gutted about it. But yeah, so stay tuned. Primarily Instagram and YouTube is where you're going to find me. For those who are on my Patreon account as well, I post there and I'll be talking about it. But I'm definitely going to be doing more live streams. Um, Probably within the next couple weeks, I might bring back another one because this one's been really awesome. But it wasn't going to happen that no one would show up. Frank, you never know. Good evening from Ireland. Oh gosh, I got to go back to Ireland. Ireland was amazing. Okay, I have to go start prepping for my family supper tonight. But Guys, I appreciate you so much. So much for joining me, for sticking around. I cannot believe it. Planning to travel to Europe anytime soon. No plans, but you never know. You never know. We could make it happen. We shall fly you in, Carrie. I mean, I won't say no. I won't. I've never been to Romania, so that'd be cool. But yes, I do have to go plan my family supper. I will absolutely do another one. When will the next one be? I'm gonna try and maybe throw a poll out in the next couple days on YouTube and Instagram. Find when the time works best for most people. But it would very likely be on a weekend, um, either a Saturday or Sunday. But yes, okay. I have to stop reading the comments. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Otherwise, this is never gonna be able to get off of here. Guys, with the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Z, again, please email me. Make it happen. Guys, you are amazing. You've just filled the soul. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.